迎大家嚟到實拍實說。今日咧，我哋嚟到 West Moreton Anglican College 啦。咁我哋今日咧就揸咗個幾鐘頭車，1個鐘頭差唔多15分啦，從黃金海岸嚟到呢度。咁呢間學校咧都特別嘅，因為咧當地嚟講咧就相當嘅嗰個知名度啦。因為從嗰個 map 入邊睇到咧，你睇到附近咧好多都係嗰啲農莊啦，係一個特色嘅地方。呢度咧有好好嘅嗰個語言環境啦，因為咧就當地學生嘅比率非常之高，海外學生都係30零個嘅啫，所以呢個係一個非常值得推薦俾嗰啲家長咧，係屬於中意比較即係完全澳洲環境嗰種讀書嘅環境咯。
呢個就係 reception。
Welcome to Specialist Mathematics. So we've got this lovely equation. The first thing we're going to need to do is to find 2 points A and B.
Dots are really close together like that. What does that mean?
Because it's short.
My name is Jeff McLeay and I'm the principal of West Moreton Anglican College in Queensland, Australia. West Moreton Anglican College has been visiting Hong Kong now for over 20 years, and we've had students from Hong Kong coming to study at our school for more than 20 years. We often go to Hong Kong to visit families, to visit agents and talk with prospective students. So we're very familiar with the Hong Kong market and we know what the families and students in Hong Kong expect from their overseas education experience in high school. West Moreton Anglican College is in a very natural bushland environment, so it's a very clean, safe and welcoming place for students from Hong Kong to visit. The Australian national students here are very used to having students from Hong Kong, China, Japan, Korea and other Asian countries coming and staying with us and studying with us. So they openly welcome Hong Kong students to our school community because we have been welcoming Hong Kong students for over 20 years.
I think one question would be, because there's so many schools,
yes.
One thing would be like, why this school compared with other schools, maybe like the area, the community, the school, like the main difference, what makes it so special. We'll talk about that a bit, if that's all right.
One of the things that sets this school apart from other schools is that we have a fairly small international student program. We make sure we provide high quality service to a small number of international students. We don't have large numbers of students from the same country. We have small numbers of students from a range of different overseas destinations, and we do that to personalise the service, but also to make sure that students coming to us are largely learning to speak English, right, and studying in English, as opposed to being in larger groups and speaking their own native language, such as Cantonese.
Yeah, good, that's true. I think what some parents want to know is they want to know roughly the range of international students, like if there's a percentage, which one that's more, or like the spread of the students.
Yes. So the number of international students we have is less than 2% of our total student population, but in our junior secondary and senior secondary year levels, no more than 8% of the students. So a small number. 36 students in total.
36 students. Oh,
yes, across a school of 1,400.
Right. That is very nice.
Yes.
I like how they're so small, so they're always exposed to like local students.
That's right.
English speaking students, so there's always getting used to it.
One of the other things that sets this school apart is that we have a very large range of curriculum offerings, so lots of subjects. We do that to cater for the needs of a wide variety of students. So from maths and science and technology and design through to the humanities, English, history, and a range of subjects, business, very strong business faculty. The other thing we do is we have a large number of clubs and activities that students can do outside of the classroom. So we have 19 music ensembles, we have many sports, we have a dance program where students can do dance. So our international students who come to us, we encourage them to get involved in those extracurricular activities. And the idea is to develop the whole human being, not just the brains.
Absolutely. It's the whole experience, I guess. It's like, because the special thing about studying Australia, it's not just the curriculum, it's the whole experience, especially for Asian countries. It's very different. It's like a city, and then it's all really compact, and there's so many people, but then we're moving here. I guess it's the time of transitions. I think another thing most students and especially parents are, because they're trusting the school and then they're sending the students over, mainly is to how does the school support students settling in, or if there's homesickness, anything that there's a support. I think we can talk about that as well, see what the school does.
We have over 20 years of experience in welcoming students to our schools, so we understand about them feeling homesick from time to time. We have a range of support mechanisms in place to support them, from individualised tutoring and support academically, but also our constant contact with our homestay families. So many of our homestay families have been welcoming international students for 10, 15, 20 years. So they're very experienced. They know what the students want in terms of their home office, their bedrooms, all of those things. They know the types of food to expect to cook the students. They also understand that students will need to make contact with their families in Hong Kong, and so they provide opportunities through video conferencing, FaceTime, whatever it is. We're very, very cognizant of the need for those young people to connect with their families on a constant basis.
Oh, good. Thank you.
A really good example is that during COVID, from February and March 2020, we've had large numbers of students who've stayed in country for well over 18 months. And our host families have been able to support them and nurture them. And we're having many students who are graduating from the school after being here constantly for 2 years. So I think that's a very positive aspect of our host families.
Absolutely. I think most parents, especially, they haven't seen their kids for 18 months or more. They're always worried. Our friends studying overseas as well, their parents are like, oh, if you're going to Australia, can you visit them for me? They really want to know how their kids are doing, and it's good to know that the school and the homestays are doing so much to support international students. So they're being comfortable and they're still not very homesick at the same time. That's very good.
I'm sure they've had their challenges, but they've been able to overcome their challenges
Absolutely.
Through the support of the school and the homestay families. Yes.
That's very nice. So I guess thank you so much for your time today. Finally, I think any message you want to say to the future students or students overseas at the moment? And then,
well, we're looking forward to welcoming future students to our school. We're very keen to hop on a plane and go to Hong Kong and talk with the families and prospective students. And we're hoping that as soon as maybe 2022, we'll be able to welcome many families and students from Hong Kong to West Moreton Anglican College.